What's going on, guys and gals? It's me, your old buddy Mistermoose, back in the garage and ready for some more Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. All right, so I've been away for a couple of days. In case you're wondering where the videos have been, we had a little hurricane step through the neighborhood and stomped on my utilities. Nothing too bad. I've been through much worse, but did knock out power and cable and had some trees down. So been cleaning up, trying to get life back to normal. So that's the reason we haven't been recording any videos, but we're back and we're ready to move on. And today we've got a cool new mod that we're going to be rolling with. This is an 80s version SS Monte Carlo. Got to admit it, this is one of those cars from back in my childhood that I absolutely wanted. Back when I was in school, this was one I was trying to get the, steer the parents towards. Didn't get it, but certainly wanted it. Instead, I got an El Camino, but absolutely love this one. And of course, if you're a NASCAR fan, you'll remember this back in the 80s as being one of the cars that NASCAR ran for a very long time with the Monte Carlos, and just such a good looking car. Pre-Chevy Lumina. Oh man, this was a great looking race car. So that's what we're going to be building out. This is in Kenny's workshop over on the Steam forum. So again, you just go to Car Mechanic Simulator 2018 discussions, and inside the discussions, look for the modding forum, and there you'll find Kenny's workshop. And this is posted by Al Capone. A very good looking model. If we pop the hood, you'll see there are a whole lot of details to this car. You've got your washer reservoir here, radiator reservoir there. You've actually got a fan shroud across the radiator there. Other little details, there's a windshield wiper motor there. You've got your blower motor modeled in for over here for the heater. Module box right here. Yeah, I mean, this looks more like what a motor ought to look like. Got a little pollution control canister over here on the side. Good stuff. Good looking model. Of course, none of that really matters in the game. It's just the standard suspension engine, all that good stuff. But it's nice to see a cool looking model in here. Love that front end. So we are going to tear this apart today and start work on it. So again, if you want to get this model, it is in Kenny's workshop over in the Steam forums. Let's see, where to start. Same thing we always do, right? Take out the drive shaft, get it out, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, we had a little bit of fun over the weekend riding out the hurricane that came through. And like I said, I've been through much worse. It was a minor hurricane. Nevertheless, you got to take them serious. So I had to spend a little bit of time prepping for the storm, which it moved on us really, really quick. I mean, we didn't have a whole lot of time to get things together and get the house situated and everything. I had a boat I had to move for one of my customers, and so it just took I didn't have time to sit down and record any videos. I actually, on Saturday, I posted the archive from the midweek live stream, so at least there'd be something up. But after that, I was just kind of didn't have anything I could put up. And then late Saturday night, it was Saturday night, Sunday morning. It's just after midnight. There was a huge noise out in the front yard. Power went out, and when I went outside, a lot of my trees had been destroyed. My neighbor's trees had been destroyed, so it was clear that we either had a little bit of tornadic activity come through, or just a really huge gust of wind came through, because it took out a lot, did a lot of destruction. So I had to deal with the cleanup on that Sunday, and Monday morning they finally got my power back up and running. So it's been an interesting 48 hours or so. I know I was supposed to announce winners for the giveaway on Monday. I do apologize for not being able to do that, but I do hope you guys understand. It was because I was a little displaced at the time. But anyways, I did go ahead and post the winners. Matt Pearson and I think it was Terry Reese were the winners. Both of which had been notified. So they will claim their prizes and we'll get a copy of the game. And we'll give away some more stuff here shortly if you didn't win. Well, don't worry, there are more giveaways to come. As soon as the Jeep DLC releases, I'll probably give away several copies of that, depending on what the price point is on it. If it stays around $5 for the price on the Jeep DLC, I will probably buy several copies of it and do a bulk giveaway. Someone turned me on to a software package that I could use to do the giveaways. We'll actually let people register via email, and that way it'll make it giveaways a little bit easier for me to do. So we'll try that out. But as soon as they do the Jeep DLC, we'll do some giveaways associated with it. But again, thanks for everybody who entered and participated in the giveaways. Came out to the live stream that we did. And just thanks for everybody for your support. It really is great. Glad you guys are enjoying the series and enjoying the game. Still more to come. And it'll be interesting. Still waiting on that Steam Workshop. Of course, we're waiting on the tuning DLC as well. Now, that was supposed to be on release between the 5th or today. And I guess on the 6th, Red Dot came out and said, well, you're going to have to wait a little bit longer. They apparently have run into some issues with the Jeep DLC and with the tuning DLC. And so it's probably going to be somewhere within the next 3 weeks before that gets released. And I'm not really surprised. I hinted at it last week when we were talking about it that don't be surprised if it was delayed. And sure enough, it was. But to be honest with you, I would rather them take the time to test and get all the bugs fixed and found prior to release than to do what they did with the game and rush it out and have lots of problems in there. So I'm pretty happy with the fact that they're going to take a little bit more time to do things properly. Couldn't see that bushing from the other side, so there we go. That gets that out of there. What rear end does this have underneath it? It's just got the leaf spring rear end. Interesting. Let's go ahead and take the rear wheels off of this. So, alright, I haven't told you much about this car. I probably ought to. This was a auction find that I got. It was a 3-star in the auction house and was initially valued at right at a little over $15,000. I paid $14,843 for the car. So that's where we start out, is at $15,000 base value on the car right now. And hopefully we'll increase that. We had just a little bit of profit in it to begin with, but not a whole lot. We will certainly flip that around as we get it built out and improve on it. But the nice thing is, getting it out of the AH and being a 3-star, we have a chance to repair most of the parts that are on it and lessen the amount of money that we have to spend to get it to new. All right, let's get these bushings out. So I'm going to try to get my my schedule back to going this week, but just be aware, I've still got a lot of cleanup to do. I've still got a lot going on around here associated with the damage from the weekend. So there is a chance that there may be a day where I don't do a video or I don't do a live stream or something like that, because still just dealing with the aftermath. I've still got a lot to do, but I just got to the point today where I was just like, okay, I need a break and I need to sit down and play a video game. I've been going at it so hard over the last, I don't know, 4 days. No sleep and, you know, just constantly in motion. It was time to take a little respite. Sit down and talk to everybody, see what was going on, mess around with the game. So anyways, all right, let's look through our parts and see how things are. We got our bottom suspension arms are going to be good. Calipers on the front are good. The cylinders are good. Of course, we're going to need new rotors and new drums. We'll need new pads. We'll sell the brake shoes off as always because I don't believe you can repair brake shoes. Clutch pressure plate, all that stuff, that doesn't really matter right now. The drum wheel cylinders are good. The front dust covers are good. The knuckles are good. The cross member's good. That's great. We're using the front sway bar this time, not the B, just the A, or just the generic. Front wheel hubs are good. We need a new fuel tank, obviously. We always do. Inner and outer tie rods will be replaced. The leaf springs are good. The plates are good. All the U-bolts are good. The rear end is good. Wow, we're getting out lucky on this. Knock on wood. Let's see. The rear axle knuckles are good. We need shock absorber Bs, 12 bushings, 4 small ones. Solid rear axles are good. Steering rack is good. End links, the upper suspension arms are good. Wow, we repaired just about every single part on the car that time. Everything that could be repaired. That's amazing. That never happens. I never get that lucky. Something always breaks. So that's good stuff. So everything that we're buying is just the regular consumables. Good stuff. I'm lucky. I'm liking. Happy days. All right, wait for this thing to get us into the shop. For some reason, a little bit slow. There we go. So I was looking at some screenshots for the Jeep DLC. You can see the new computer screen. There are actually going to be 2 more placards placed in here. One prior to the body spot and then one after it. One is for your tuning parts for the engine, and then there's a tuning body parts section. So 2 new features that will be added in when we do get the tuning DLC. But anyways, let's get in here to suspension. So we need this times 2, and we need these times 2. There we go. And then we need the front sway bar, 2 of these, 2 of those, and 2 of these. And then down here, we're going to need 12 bushings, large. And then we'll need 4 small bushings. And then 2 of these guys, 2 of these, 2 of those. And then for brakes, we don't need any of that, but we do need 2 of these, 2 of those, 2 of them, and 2 of these. That should be good. Should be able to jump up here and get on this car now and get some work done to it. So we'll go into the assembly mode. We'll put our cross member into place, and then we'll start putting all the bushings in. There we go. All right, I'm going to have to come over to this side to get this back bushing. Put that in. There we go. Now let's see if I can... This is the only thing with getting rid of that zoom for the camera. It's sometimes getting into some of these outer pieces after you're close in tight like that can be an issue. All right, bottom suspension arm goes in first. So we hang that. And once again, I forgot to go and build my shock absorbers. So we'll get the top in, and then I'll jump out of here and go build them. I even sat there when I was purchasing them thinking, go build the shock absorbers. Go do it. And of course I didn't. Yet another failure. All right, so we'll get our second one done. All right, so let's see. We'll hit that. What else has been going on? Trying to think. Not really sure. We talked about the DLC being off for another 3 weeks. The Jeep DLC is on Steam, but there's been no release date actually put in. But if they're saying there's a problem with the tuning DLC that is associated with the Jeep DLC, I can only imagine it'll be closer to the end of the month for that DLC to get released. I wouldn't think that they would get both of them, you know, one out ahead of the other. Though I did notice something interesting. I was looking at the wait a minute, I hadn't put the tie rods in the steering rack in, have I? Well, let's put the steering rack in. There we go. Inner tie rod and the outer tie rod. I did notice on the information that the next patch coming out, which would be 1.3.9, is listed as the Jeep DLC. So I don't guess there's any other adjustments coming until then. I mean, for what it is, I'm ready for the Jeep DLC. Like I said, I'm a little disappointed there's not a true CJ in there. That they went with the two wheelies and, you know, snubbed the CJ completely. Because if you're a Jeep enthusiast, you hate the Wrangler. I'm sorry. I just, the Wrangler, the Safaris, all the new scale stuff. I mean, yeah, I get it. Younger generations like the Rubicon and stuff, but if you're an older guy and you're a true Jeep enthusiast, you really love the CJs. I can't stand the newer stuff. I'm an old school kind of guy, and so I'm a little put out by the fact there's no CJ in there. I'm not even though I had one, I'm not a Grand Cherokee kind of guy. I mean, I had one when I was younger just because, well, I got a heck of a deal on it, number one. You know, and it fit my bill. I mean, honestly, the only reason I had it was because I got a heck of a deal on it. And that's one of those cars I think I told you guys I bought it out of a junkyard. Where dude or dudette's girlfriend or boyfriend got mad and slung a tire iron on it and destroyed the car. Or bent all the, you know, window frames, door frames, stuff like that. Stuff that didn't bother me. I wanted the car. So I bought it out of a junkyard. And like I said, it didn't bother me because all I was interested in was the vehicle. The cosmetics on it didn't mean anything to me. But for an insurance company, that was a total write-off to them because where it was hitting the door frames, the support post, cross post or whatever, that's something that a body shop wasn't going to be able to pull the dent out and fix and make it look right. And there was just too many of them. Me, I just, you know, I just put glass back in it, put some tires on it. That was one of the deals when I bought the car at the junkyard. I bought it at the guy who sold me the car, the deal that we negotiated, I had to buy all the parts that I needed at the time. I had to buy off of his lot. So all the glass that would be replaced on the car, if he had it, I had to buy it there at his lot. So I bought the car and all the glass except for one piece. He didn't have the rear window glass for it. And then I bought a brand new windshield that I had a glass company come in and install. But all the side glass, door glass, all that other stuff I bought from him, and that was part of the deal for me to get the price that I got on the car, which was unbelievably low. All right, so let's separate all these wheels from the rims, and we'll see if we can repair those up, put some new rubber on this thing, and then we will move forth. Pull that. Separate that. Let me look at my inventory real quick. Make sure that what I got left in my inventory. Yeah, it looks like I used all the parts up. I need to get in the habit of doing that. Just going through my inventory and looking at like suspension and seeing if the parts I have are all used parts and if I got everything put on the car. That'll help me out a little bit when I'm doing this stuff to not miss like something stupid, because I'm sitting here thinking, well, did I get everything right? I'm starting to think I might have missed something. It looks like I got everything. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 rims. All of them are good. Good stuff. So we need some race tire B, 215 65 14s. 215 65 14s. And we said race tire B. Where's that at? Race tire B, 14s. Oh man, come on. 215 65. There we go. Inventory. Yep. And I bought the right tire. Lately, I've been buying the wrong tires. I want to make sure I'm getting the right ones. I say lately, there's been a couple of times where I bought the wrong tire or I couldn't remember what I was buying. I got the numbers mixed up. Or like Felicic tends to put smaller tires on the front of his vehicles than on the rear because he's an old school hot rod guy. Admittedly, he does that on purpose. And sometimes I miss it. So, not what I want to do there. There we go. Last one. So yeah, this will be a cool car. I just remember this car like, you know, back in the younger, or my younger days. I remember it, Harry Gant driving it with the old Kodiak car, and Bobby Allison driving the Miller High Life version of it. Just a cool car, man. I think Earnhardt started out in that one, in the, what is it, one of the Levi's or Lee jeans, I forget. Before he pulled Goodwrench as a sponsor. Davey Allison in the Haviland version of it. This was back in the days before we got the Impalas and the Tauruses. It was a good looking car back in the day. Locked it a lot. Somebody right now is going, you got your sponsors all wrong. Probably do, man. I guess it was Wrangler was Earnhardt's car. It was a Wrangler car now that I come to think about it. But yeah, that was back when racing was cool. I'm not a big fan of NASCAR these days and all the rule changes they've done, and I get some people like it, but I don't know. I liked it back when they raced, even on the pits. You know, you could actually make up laps with pit strategy back in the day. Alright, so that gets suspension done. Let's pop the hood. Jump up in here, get our brake servo. I still laugh at that every time I just say it. I'm like... And again, I tend to get caught up in the game and I say things according to the way the game's got them listed. You know, brake servo. I know that ain't called a brake servo. Not where I live, not where I come from. I challenge that if I go into a Napa store and say, I need a brake servo, the guy's going to kind of look at me really funny. What are you talking about? Or if I say, well, I need a booster assembly and a master cylinder, he's going to know exactly what I want. But again, I'm not from Poland, so it may be a little different there. All right, so there is our Monte Carlo with the new suspension on it, ready to roll. And when we come back tomorrow, we will build out our engine, and we'll get some power in it, do some body work on it, and see how she turns out. All right. Anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. And again, if you didn't win in the giveaway for last week, don't worry, there are much more giveaways still to come. Just help me out. As I said, as we reach milestones, I always do giveaways when we hit new milestones. And I tend to, try to give away a lot when we reach big milestones. So the next big one will be 50,000. When we hit it, we will give away another huge set of games and do a week-long giveaway. When we hit like 1,000, like if we hit 41,000, 42,000, I'll probably give away a game or two, but not like I do when I hit 50,000. That's usually where I give 10, 20 copies of games away or whatever. So, but anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. Thank you so much for all your support. If you haven't already, consider smacking that like button for me. Share the video with your friends. Make a comment down below. And of course, as always, if you enjoy the content and you want to see more, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Come back and join us tomorrow as we wrap up the work on our SS Monte Carlo. Until then, stay safe. God bless you guys. Bye-bye.